Hey guys, Coach Tim here, and I am truly Coach Tim from the football side. This is nothing to do with business, except maybe in a loosely related way, because the problems that are going on in football today are a mirror of the larger society. And what the solution, I'll give you the solution before I even get into the actual problem. In society, what we're all horribly uh, suffering from is a lack of meaning and a lack of purpose. Uh, Football is dying because it doesn't have purpose. The kids aren't given a purpose. I was reminded today of my coaching. Today is Super Bowl Sunday. I have two kids that I've coached uh, that are playing in the game. And coaches usually will chest thump when one of their kids are playing in a bigger arena, and I'm no different, but I also chest thump because I believe, in fact, from one of them I know, because he's told me that he sees a bigger picture that goes beyond football. And I was reminded of this today, this morning, as I get a phone call from one of my old players, my old parents in the youth league. It was way in the beginning. Uh, and he's like, "Hey Tim, this is so and so. You remember me?" And I go, "Of course I remember you. So and so's dad." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, did you know?" And he goes and tells me, and I'm like, "Yeah," because I do follow my kids. I sometimes lose track of them, but try to follow them. And he goes, "Man," and then he goes, "That is amazing, right?" And I go, "Yeah, it's phenomenal. We talked a little BS. How's everything?" And then he gets into showering me with praise. And I appreciate that, but I try not to be in my ego much. And when I told my wife this, she goes, "Oh, your head's all blown up now." Okay, thank you, wife. But the point is the reason football is trashed is the opposite of what we produced. Back in the day when we coached the youth, especially the first group, we had an outcome. And what I told them what you're telling me, I inserted into the program. It's a system. And the way I explain it is at the time we had all the moon, the stars, all aligned. I had great parents for the most part. I had kids. I had coaches. I had a high school freaking football coaching staff for 8 and 9 year olds, for God's sakes. It was ridiculous. And these kids got first class instruction. And in so many words, he said that, and he gave me a lot of praise, and I gave, like a coach is supposed to, gave a lot of praise to everybody else. And it's true though. These people, because they were all focused in laser fashion, they created, we created magic. That's what football's supposed to be like. It's not me, it's we. But instead, the path from me to we is has been obfuscated over the years from my generation. I was telling one of my first players, like before this group, we're talking about how my generation is the one who screwed it up. We screwed it up. We messed it up. We allowed it to be about me's. And There's no I in team, right? But it starts off as an I. When we come into collectives, everybody's there with their own selfish intent. And as a leader, as a coach, as a director, so this is where it gets off the football track. This is everywhere, it's ubiquitous. Even as a one person sales team, you still serve the public, and that person is acting from I, and your job is to sell them that it's a we are doing this for you, because even though you're a single sales team, you still have a team that helps support you on the back end, right? Like in real estate is an easy example. There's one person is an agent, but they have a brokerage, and that with that brokerage they have title, they have loan, they have this, that, and the other. I have a client slash friend who had to do a couple miracles in the last year that I understand. One was a person coming out of the Palisades fire, and they needed to close like super fast, and he got the lending done, and everybody's running around with their head chopped off. And he had another one just recently that he was telling me ended up being a 30-day escrow, and I think because the gal who was selling it needed to get out of Dodge, she was moving uh, overseas or something. And so that doesn't happen on your back. That happens that's the leader that creates that motion and puts it in motion and gets everybody off their ass to go out and produce. Anyway, back to football. This is why I love football, because to me the only thing about it is when you can that's great and enduring is when you can create that magic. And my old parent, that's what I call them, my parents, reminded me of that. And it's infected him to this day and his kid. And that's what football's about, is creating magic that changes lives forever. And so if you know me and you hear me be a bit curmudgeon about where things are in this world in football, you'll know that's why I am, because this isn't why it's a good sport. Yeah, great. Somebody threw for 400, 500 yards in the game. Great. Good for you, dude. But that's not why the game is great. You had a great game, but it's not why the game is great. The game is bigger than that. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than the individual. And when everybody treats it as thus, as a overwhelming majority, all focused on 1 in 10, magic happens that affects the individual and the set of individuals that are involved in that effort for the rest of their lives. That's what's missing. That's why there's NIL. That's why everybody's me, 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 from coaches to players to everybody else. As somebody reminded me a little bit smugly, if you're watching, when talking about the coaches, she said, it's not in the contract. No, it's not. Not from a legal standpoint. From a moral standpoint, it absolutely is in every coach's contract to serve the long term wellness and good and ethical compass of everyone you come in touch with. We could do better, guys. It's Coach Tim out.